Māori National MPs say the party's list and shadow cabinet are selected on ability, not skin tone, and they're happy with their rankings. There's been criticism of new leader Todd Muller's rejig of the shadow cabinet, with one former National MP saying it's appalling there are only white faces on the party's front bench. The highest ranked Māori MP in National's caucus is at number 13, and that's Paula Bennett. And then Todd Muller and his deputy Nikki Kaye made a major faux pas yesterday when they incorrectly labelled one of their senior MPs, Paul Goldsmith, Māori, when he's not. So we decided to give National's actual Māori MPs a call to see what they think. First, Dan Bidwar, MP for Northcote. He's been in the job about 2 years. His iwi is Ngāti Maniapoto. He picked up workplace relations and safety in the reshuffle and is currently ranked 46.
Good morning, Dan speaking.
Kia ora, Dan. It's Lisa Owen calling from Radio New Zealand's Checkpoint program. How are you doing?
Kia ora, Lisa. How you doing? Our leader has put together what he thinks is a top team reflecting the diversity in many ways, whether it be gender, ideas, experience, talent, skills, to try and reflect the priority that we will put on our economic recovery heading into the election and hopefully as a national government thereafter.
So Todd Muller says he's selected people based on their ability. So do you agree with that? Ability was the fundamental factor in the decision-making process.
Absolutely, and National's always had and believed in equal opportunity and merit-based promotion. That's why I joined. That's the core of my values, Lisa.
Because that's really interesting, Dan, really interesting. So does that mean that there is a whole bunch of more capable Pākehā people in the National Party?
Not at all, and you just need to look at my background and some of the MPs of Māori descent, but it's about being placed at the right time to put together that team to focus on the economic recovery. So I'm really happy, Lisa, that you're looking out for my interests and you want me on the front bench, and certainly that will happen and hopefully sometime soon, but I think Todd's got the right balance here between diversity of ideas and experience and talent and skills, but also making sure we got a top team to fight what is going to be the greatest economic crisis that our nation faces in the coming years.
So Shane Reti, is he capable?
Very capable.
Could he be a health minister? Do you reckon he could be a health minister?
He could be anything he wants.
Okay, so why isn't he in the top? Why isn't he in the front bench?
Well, because he is certainly in the top 20, Todd's talked of a broader shadow cabinet in the top 20. But again, we've got so much talent in our caucus with respect to Māori MPs. Shane is one of them. Former doctor, spent time at Harvard. He does fantastic work for us, and I think he's doing a great job in his education work and all his various other portfolios that he has.
So great and capable, he's at number 17.
Well, no, look, you can't worry about the ranks, Lisa. What I'm saying to you is this. National doesn't believe in identity-based politics, neither does myself, and that's why Todd has put together a top team of 20, reflecting what he thinks is the best skills and talents and experience at this time to help us get through this economic crisis that we're about to go into. We don't select based on race or getting the toneness, the skin toneness right in our top team. We select based on merit, and merit is based on performance and values and character, and all the people that we've talked about, Shane, Hareti, myself, we will get there, but it's at the right time. At this time, Todd's put together a strong team to tackle this economic crisis that we're about to enter.
So, just to be clear on this, you think that your position in that shadow cabinet is correct along with all the others, simply because none of the Māori MPs in National have the ability to be in that top 10 right now? That's what you're saying?
No. I'm 2 years into my political career, Lisa, and I really appreciate your concern for my career and that you think I should be on the front bench. But I actually think that the more experienced MPs who have held senior ministerial portfolios in previous governments actually should be given a heavier weight than myself. So I'm absolutely happy with my rank, and I'm also happy, just so you know, that Todd has given me workplace relations as a portfolio.
Two-term list MP Joe Hayes is of Māori and Scots descent, ranked 37 in National's lineup. Her portfolios are whānau ora and Māori development. Yesterday she told Radio Wātea she would be speaking to Mr Muller about a lack of Māori voices on National's front bench. Today, she told our reporter Charlie Drever she's moved on.
As far as I'm concerned, it's all over and done with. It was yesterday's news and we move on.
What about Māori seats, though? Because you have spoken about that in the past. Are you re-looking at that? Are you wanting National to change its position?
Well, you've got to understand, I've spoken about it, Nick Stewart's spoken about it when he was here, Heki spoke about it when she was here, so every Māori MP has had a chance to talk about it.
With a new leader, though, do you want to reconsider this?
It's up to the leader.
Whanganui MP Harete Hepango was racing to the House when we finally got through. The first-term MP whakapapas to Te Ate Haunui a Paparangi, Ngāti Apa and Ngā Raudu.
Kia ora, Harete speaking.
Kia ora, Harete. It's Lisa Owen calling from Radio New Zealand. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Lisa.
What do you think of the positioning of the Māori MPs on your list as it stands?
That's a matter for the leadership, Lisa. The rankings are a matter for leadership, and I was just talking about the new role that I have been obliged and blessed to carry in terms of the Māori Crown relations, and that there's a tikanga as we, in terms of where I come from the world, and that tikanga, those protocols, we accept that that's how things are. So my thoughts around that, rankings are a matter for the leadership, but I am pleased that I've been acknowledged accordingly with the appointment of what I deem, and I think others would fairly as well, a significant role with the Māori Crown relationships portfolio. I'm more than embracing and welcoming of it. Thanks, Lisa.
Harete, can you just tell me what number you are then on the list with that very important portfolio that you've got? What number are you on the list?
Well, numbers aren't such a big thing for me, but I believe it's in the somewhere in the 30s, around the 40s, around about 38, 39.
39. So is that where Crown Māori relations and Māori tourism sits at 39?
No, it's not. It's not. I don't know about that, and that's why I'm saying, Lisa, numbers don't equate so much for me. It's about the acknowledgement and the responsibility and the task that I've been afforded. And I think despite that, however people will look at it in terms of a numbers game, I've got a job to get on and perform. So I was given the portfolio of Māori tourism, and then with the change in leadership, I now have the Māori Crown relations.
How important do you think it is to have Māori MPs within the National Party right up the top on the front bench? How important is that?
Look, I think what's important here, Lisa, is the skill set and the attributes and the experience that we bring to the role.
So are there no Māori MPs with that skill set to put them in?
That's been acknowledged.
Right.
So
Sorry to interrupt, but this is important. You said it's about skill set, right? So then the question has to be, are there no Māori MPs within National with the skill set that would afford them one of the top 10 roles?
Look, those are ranking issues, Lisa, for the leadership again. So that's the conversation to be had with the leadership team. So, and when I talk about the leadership team, that's Todd Muller as the leader and Nikki Kaye as the deputy leader. So that's a question that appropriately is to be put to and answered by the leadership. And that's the tikanga, and I abide by the tikanga as I do when I'm on the marae as well.
So speaking of tikanga, who is advising Todd Muller on all things Māori, tikanga and policy? Who's in that circle
and again,
advising him?
That's a question for you, more appropriately to put to Todd and for Todd to respond to you.
But are you his advisor?
I'm not his mouthpiece. What I will say, Lisa, is that I have no hesitation in terms of the portfolios that I carry to speak on the issues of Māori tourism, on the issues of Māori Crown relations, but also on the issues of my constituency, my electorate that I come from. And that's what I'm here to do, and I'll continue to give service in that regard.
Paula Bennett, who's of Tainui descent, is National's top-ranked Māori MP and number 13, tumbling down from number 2, dropping her role as deputy and campaign manager and losing the social development and social services portfolio, leaving her with drug reform and women. She spoke to our political editor, Jane Patterson.
They say that the leader of the opposition is the hardest job in Parliament. And I would agree with them. And these guys have had days, and they, I think, have done a remarkable job to start with. A few bumps yesterday, but they will pull themselves together. They're heading in the right direction. And look, it's a lot of pressure, but stuff I reckon that, quite frankly, Todd is up to standing up to.
What do you make, though, of the lack of Māori or other ethnic presence in the senior caucus, and in fact you being used at number 13 as an example of a senior Māori MP on the front bench?
Well, I am proudly Māori, and I am. And, I think that when you look at that whole shadow cabinet, when you look at the whole team, there is no one there that doesn't care about this whole country, including Māori, and how they can get ahead and are fighting for that with everything they've got. And in some respects, their ethnicity doesn't define how much they care about others and can and will make a difference.
So what would you say then to critics of the new leadership team, that they haven't showed due respect to Māori, that they're not seeking the Māori vote, and that it was a real political blunder?
Look, I think that we have a proud history of the work that we've done with Māori in this country, and I reckon that these guys and that we can continue to do that. So just, judge on the actions of what we do, not actually, I think, the overall ethnicity of some of those on the front bench.
Do you think the National Party and the new leadership team can recover for this, or recover from this, or is this a blight on the start of this new leadership team?
No, look, Todd's rightly proud of the team that he has put together. I've always said the National Party is bigger than one or two people, and when you look at that overall team, I reckon that they will concentrate on what matters to New Zealanders, and that will resound for Māori, Pākehā and everyone else in between.
And that's Paula Bennett talking there to our political editor, Jane Patterson. Now, we also tried unsuccessfully to reach National MP Dr Shane Reti and Simon Bridges.